Everybody knows this, but you can always get better. But you might not always know how to get better. So what I'm gonna do is walk through some common mistakes that I see in some of the beats that you guys send me, and I'm gonna show you how to fix them, make them better, improve them, so that you can become a better producer. Now let's get into it. Yo, what's up, Riley? I'm Nick. I've been producing for 8 months, and I hope to one day be an industry producer for my favorite rappers. I really struggle with making melodies and mixing, and I would really appreciate your tips. That is not what he said. I paraphrased. Let's give it a listen. This is like a weird vibe. Honestly, I kind of like what you did with the melody. It's just really plain and basic. And to spice that up, all we really need to do is add in a little bit more. Yeah. To start out, I just want to layer your chords. And if you didn't know, chords are pretty much going to be the backbone of your whole melody most of the time. Especially when you're working with an artist, because you want to leave room for their vocals. Oh, that's nice. Now, aside from your main melody, you can also build around it by adding in some leads or just counter melodies or any kind of accent, really. What I'm doing here is I'm mainly focusing on leaving room and kind of just building out a vibe. Ew, dog, stop! Ooh, that's kind of smooth. And then we're just gonna copy it over and we're gonna change up like 1 or 2 things. And it may sound like dookie right now, but if we just cut some highs, and then to really top off our top tier mixing capabilities, we turn it down. And if you really want to get freaky with it for some reason, you can throw in like a call and response, like we've got, bam, melody 1. And we could just like slide something in here. I don't really know. I don't really love doing a call and response here because we want to leave room, but you know what? I'm showing you the sauce. Oh, wouldn't this be so saucy? I think so, personally. Secret mixing sauce, but you can play around with the panning of your instruments, and this will actually make a little bit more room for them. So like, for example, I want 1 lead left, I want 1 lead right. I could take that piano I added in and I could widen it with some stereo separation, or I could use that new FL Studio plugin called Spreader. Spreads the sound out. And now if you really want to take that melody game up to that next level, you need to start throwing in some kind of textures or effect sounds or just whatever to build out that vibe. I'm telling you, music is about a vibe just as much as it is about music theory and placing notes down and all that good stuff. I feel like we could maybe use this sound. We could keep just adding in random things, as long as it sounds good, you know what I mean? Try things out. I need to mix it, but like it's something. Something that sounds like the Transformers are coming. And just like that, we grew the size of your melody by so much. Like we added in 5 new patterns to what you have. Now you got some dookie stuff going on with your 808 and it just sounds terrible. For starters, this C note here is going to be dissonant with the actual root note of your chord for these 2 bars. And this is also going to be dissonant because it's 1 step below your actual bass note. So you see here, you're just going 1-4. You're going from your A sharp to your D sharp. With your bass, you can play notes that are going to be dissonant or consonant with your bass of your melody. So for example, your A sharp chord here, you could play this note. It'll probably sound good because it's the root of that harmony. You could play this note because it is a perfect 5th of that harmony, and you could maybe play the 3rd. But anything that's going to be stepwise from that root is probably going to sound dissonant, so don't use that. So for example, these F notes here, those are 1 step above your root, so it sounds a little dissonant. What? I'm sorry, but what? You don't stop. Don't do it. You don't need to do all this, because when you're using a drum sample, especially trap drum samples, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be so processed that anything extra you're doing to it is either unnecessary, especially if you're doing that much stuff to it. And if you just don't like how it sounds, use a different sample. Because yeah, you can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be a turd. What is going on? Why are you doing this? Why are you setting your threshold so low? Negative 21.8 decibels. All right, and then you got this kick, and it's stupidly quiet too. Like, let's just turn it up. If you're dead set too on using a kick and an 808, because I gave you this super punchy 808, you can sidechain to it. I don't recommend doing this all the time. Use it when you need to. And all you really need to do is just turn up your knee and then control your threshold and then your release, attack, sustain. Honestly, I really feel like a bass would be better here. Honestly, don't ask me why, but I feel like this bass is gonna work. It's from a kit that I've been working on. I'm dropping the kit on Monday. Yeah, we could just play around with the octaves, I guess. And then, I don't know, to get like funky creative, we could maybe like play something here too. Nice, that's pretty chill, vibey, weird, funky little 808. Now I kind of want to crank your kick too, because it's not really punching as much as I want it to. And the secret to what gives kick the punchy sound is actually saturation. So you can just come in here, press clip, and then boost it a little bit. But that's a little bit more of a harder saturation kind of feel, so what you can do is turn the EQ knob up. And the reason that is saturating is because it's going into this soft clipper, and when the volume hits this threshold, it's going to saturate. All right, you were asking about arrangement too. Let's just listen to it and like what you want to do, the gigabrain shit that you want to do for arrangement. Think about it as like energy levels. You want to build energy, you want to drop it, have a ton of energy, and then kill it off in a natural way. Now, if we really wanted to tie up your arrangement, we would really start looking at these drums. You do like a beat cut here, no big deal, that's fine. But you got like almost all your drums coming back in here. Let's like cut out the hi-hat, let's cut out the kick. And then another way that you can really sauce up your arrangement is in these little sections, like where you have something about to change. You can definitely cut a lot of things out. So let's say, I don't know, like let's just cut all of this out. Ooh, my personal favorite secret sauce. I don't really tell people this, but it's spamming transition sounds. Because what a transition does is it literally tells the audience that shit is about to change. So it's always nice to have some of those on deck. They work really well just to kind of build that atmosphere. So like maybe you want to kill off a bunch of energy. One of my favorite ways to do that is to have like a riser go in and then just have a little bit of tail on that riser. And then when I want to pick up that energy again, I'll throw in another riser just to lead back into the drums and everything.